Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about onions and how to get rid of the irritation that comes with trying to add onions to your foods. And you don't have to use any more of those methods that don't seem to work. I have one for you, so you clicked on the right video. So continue watching all the way to the end, and then you're going to find out exactly what to do to prevent all the irritation. I'm so glad to be making this video for you guys. My son actually was the inspiration for this video because he's very super sensitive to the onion mist that is emitted from these onions. And so, you know, every time in the house chopping up onions, and he would be on the other side of the house, and he still would be affected by the onion, the mist that comes out of the onion. And I was like, are you that sensitive that you're so far away from the kitchen, but you know, this is still irritating your eye? And he said, yeah, why don't you just cut those things up outside? And I said, that sounds like a very good idea. So guys, at least for about 6 months to a year, I have actually been working on this because I could not believe that my son discovered the answer to no more tears when chopping onions. You have to go outside and chop the onions, so you don't have to wear the onion eye goggles. You don't have to do the trick of running your onions underwater or freezing your onions for 35, 45 minutes and then chopping. You don't have to do all that, guys. You actually have to go outside like you see me here. Nothing fancy. You don't have to have a kitchen outside. You can just do as I'm doing. Just make a makeshift table, something to bring your cutting board on, and just chop up your onions like this. Just get them chopped up and outside. So I'm going to put in the description box all the medical and technical information regarding what these onions omit when we cut into them, which is what gets into our eyes. And the benefit of cutting them outside is when you're outside, it's a lot of air and a lot of breeze going on. And that's what keeps the mist from being in your eye. But when you're inside the house, it's more concentrated and it really, really gets to you. So what I can suggest, what I've been doing, and this really, really works, you go ahead and even if you don't use the onions same day, go ahead and do a good chop and dice on some onions. And then also you can prepare some where you just cut them in half and they'll be long strips. And you just put those in two separate bags so that, you know, depending on if you're preparing something like maybe say like a stir fry and you need chopped onions, you can use the chopped onions. Or these onions here I kept these long. These can go on like burgers or sandwiches, or if you're making something that's, you know, that you can use the long onions with that are not chopped, then you have some long ones. Or you can always chop the long ones down. But they keep very well in the freezer. I've kept them in the freezer up to about a month because I don't chop up that many onions, but I do use onions, guys, because if you are not putting onions on your foods, the dishes that you make, you're missing a whole layer of flavor. But I can totally understand leaving the onions off if you're the type of person that's super sensitive to onions like my son is. But and then the powdered onions, it doesn't even compare. So this is like the best way. Just go ahead, come outside, chop up a couple of bags of onions at a time. You can totally keep them in the freezer. They'll keep very well. I've kept them up to a month, and they work perfectly fine. They're very crisp, clean, and they hold up in your stir fry, or if you're making burgers, like an onion burger or something. And yeah, so everything works out. And now, if you're going to be making onion rings, I don't recommend chopping those up until you are ready to actually make them, because you want the I prefer not to store the onion rings when you're making onions for onion rings. Just kind of chop those up same day outside. But yeah, look at that yummy, delicious grilled onions. You can make an onion burger or onion soup. So for the onion lovers that love the onion burgers, onion soup, fresh onions, go ahead, use your onions. Go outside, chop them up, and you'll be just fine. Okay, guys, and thank you so much for watching. And please take a look in the description box below for all the technical information. So here's the scientific explanation of what exactly is going on when you cut into an onion. And it is so much easier to change things or fix things when you understand exactly what's going on. So whenever you cut into an onion, you're actually, it emits a fine mist that you can't see, but it gets in the air, it gets in your eyes, you're breathing it in. So when that onion is cut, those are compounds that are part of the amino acid family, and it's made up of several amino acids that are all grouped together. And those are the proteins that get in your eyes. And the unstable sulfuric acid rearranges itself and gets into the air and comes in contact with your eyes. So that's how that works. So if you're outside, the wind is blowing and carrying those fine mists away. So that's why being outside actually helps you.